Hello, and welcome to On Stage at the BACP. Thank you so much for joining us wherever you are, whether it's your office, your home, or somewhere else. It's New Year's Eve. And yes, these are ghetto-rigged glasses for 2021. I just haven't been to a store where I could buy any new ones, but I'm going to take them off because they're distracting. Whether they're distracting to you or not, they are distracting to me. They keep trying to fall off my face. But because it's New Year's Eve, it's probably going to look a little bit different this year for most of us. We're not going to be hosting or attending any large gatherings, huge celebrations. I don't even know for sure what they're going to do in Times Square. I've heard that they will be doing the ball drop, but they aren't going to have all the big crowds. There may be some entertainment and like that, but hey, it's going to save New York a lot of money. I mean, think of all the cops that they won't have to have on over time, all the barricades they won't have to put up, and all the porta potties. Okay, well, since it's New Year's Eve, we did think that because some of you might actually have to be quarantining and not even be able to get together with friends due to perhaps an exposure over Christmas, we wanted to try to make this something fun, something that you would be able to watch over and over as you spend the rest of your New Year's Eve up until that midnight hour. So I've written some things down. I did some exploring, some research, and found some interesting things. We shared the Christmas traditions with you last week, so I thought this week I would look up finding out where some of the things related to New Year's come from. We are storytellers, and we do like to make sure that we tell stories, but these aren't stories, these are actual things that I found on the internet, and we know everything out there is the truth. So one of the first things that I think of when I think of New Year's is New Year's resolutions. And I was like, okay, I don't really do those. I mean, I used to, but then I realized I never kept them, and then I would feel like a sense of failure. So then I just started to resolve not to make New Year's resolutions. And I've been very successful at that for the past years. But I still didn't know where it came from. So I looked it up. And according to an article by Sarah Pruitt on History.com, ancient Babylonians are said to have been the first people to make New Year's resolutions, some 4,000 years ago. During their 12-day religious festival celebrating the new year, which back then started in March, the Babylonians either crowned a new king or reaffirmed their loyalty to the reigning king, and then they made promises to their gods to pay their debts and return any objects that they had borrowed. Not a bad plan. After Julius Caesar tinkered with the calendar a little bit, he established January 1st as the beginning of the new year, around 46 BC is what the article said. January is named for Janus, the two-faced god of the Romans. Believing that Janus would look back towards the past and forward into the future, the Romans offered sacrifices to their deity and made promises of good conduct for the coming year. And for early Christians, the first day of the new year became the traditional occasion for thinking about one's past mistakes and resolving to do and be better in the new year. So that's where New Year's resolutions came from. I don't know if you plan to make any New Year's resolutions this year, but if you're an aspiring playwright, you might want to resolve to submit a play for our next short play Zoom event, which is going to be in February. You can find the details for writing the play and submitting your application or your play, find the details for how to format the play, what all the requirements are, and then go to our website and make the submission. Our theme this year is going to be Love Corona Style, and it's going to be comedy. We want to laugh, so playwrights be thinking about that. And if you're a director who might be interested in directing one of those plays once they're chosen, you can go ahead and go to that same website, bacptheater.com, and submit your application. The deadline for both the submissions of a play and an application to direct is 11:59 on January the 8th. So you have just a little bit of time, but I have confidence in you, and that's a great New Year's resolution if you're wanting to do something like that. Okay, so another tradition that I don't usually participate in is eating black-eyed peas. I grew up in the North, and we didn't have that tradition up there. So when I moved to Oklahoma, I found out about it. I tried them once, and was not a fan. So I don't do that anymore. But I thought, why don't I find out what that's all about? So Susan Pierce on the timesfreepress.com website said that Southern tradition holds that the first food to be eaten on New Year's Day, the first food, did you catch that, should be black-eyed peas for luck and prosperity. Specifically, 1 pea for each day of the year. Yeah, 365 peas for each person to eat, unless it's a leap year, and then it's 366. And to really ensure a good year, Susan suggested that you add a mess of greens for wealth. I've tried black-eyed peas, as I said, and not a fan. So I looked a little further, and I found another tradition that I think I could do. It's an article in invaluable.com, and there it says that the most prominent New Year's tradition in Spain involves eating grapes. I like grapes. Tradition holds that people are to eat 1 grape for each toll of the clock at midnight. The 12 grapes are meant to represent good luck for each month of the year. That's one I think I could do. But I don't know, eating them 12 at each strike of the clock, that might be a little bit more difficult. Want to make sure that they're kind of small grapes and they're seedless, because otherwise it could be kind of messy. And finally, I wanted to find out where or when the old man and the baby came to represent the old year and the new year. I mean, I've seen that for years and years in cartoons. I think I believe it was Saturday Evening Post put it on the fronts of their covers. But I just didn't know where it started. So, in an article on socialstudiesforkids.com, I found that Father Time has his roots in Kronos, the Greek god of time, and also the Holly King of Celtic tradition. Both are depicted in ancient stories as an old man, usually bearded, wearing robes, and a wise old expression. He usually carries a timepiece of some sort, reinforcing the idea that time is passing. So that was interesting. And the baby New Year has its roots also in a Greek god named Dionysus, who was commonly depicted as a newborn at the end of what is our modern calendar year. Baby New Year is what lies ahead, the promise of rebirth and a new start. Then in an article on the Good Housekeeping website, Hannah Gian wrote that the storyline is that baby New Year will age and eventually grow into Father Time by the end of the year in December, at which time he will turn over his timekeeping duties and impart his aged wisdom to the next New Year baby born on January 1st. I'm thinking Father Time is going to be more than ready to pass on that wisdom and his timepiece to the new baby this year. That poor kid has no idea what's in store. Of course, Father Time, when he entered 2020, he had no idea what was coming either. And I'm going to guess he's aged a lot faster than other Father Times in the past. But we don't have any idea what's ahead either. So we can only hope and pray that things will get better and that we'll soon see you here in person rather than by a video. And we hope that it's sooner rather than later. So thanks for joining us today on stage at the BAC. We hope that you'll have a great rest of this year. It's not going to be long now. And we want to wish you a happy new year and hope that you will join us next week and next year on stage at the BACP. Happy New Year!